Cinderella's early life, our story begins with a glowing storybook opening, its golden letters shimmering with magic. Far away, in a peaceful kingdom at sunrise, birds glide gently across the sky. And in this beautiful land lives a little girl, Cinderella. Cinderella is kind, sweet, and dearly loved by her mother. They walk together in warm sunlight, hand in hand, smiling with pure joy. But one day, everything changes. Her mother falls ill. The warm light in the room begins to fade. As Cinderella sits by her bedside, tears filling her eyes. Then comes the heartbreaking moment. Her beloved mother has gone dot at a small funeral covered in flowers. Cinderella stands alone. Her father holds her close, comforting her as best as he can. Time passes, and he brings home a new wife, along with her two daughters. Elegant on the outside, but cruel at heart. Soon after Cinderella's father leaves for a long journey, everything changes again. With him gone, the stepmother shows her true nature. Cinderella is surrounded by smirking faces. Orders are thrown at her. Do this. Clean that. Hurry up. She scrubs floors on her knees, while her stepsisters laugh and taunt her. She dusts the dim attic, cooks breakfast in a smoky kitchen, and works from sunrise to sunset. Yet even in all this hardship, the animals adore her. Birds sit by her window. She sings softly to them, her voice gentle and warm, a small light in her lonely world. One day, while Cinderella mends her old dress, excitement fills the village streets. A royal messenger rides in proudly, blows his golden trumpet, and reads a scroll. By order of the king, a grand royal ball shall be held at the palace. Every young maiden is invited. The villagers cheer with joy. Hope rises in Cinderella's heart. Maybe she can go too. But the stepmother laughs cruelly. You, to the ball? In that dress? Never. The stepsisters mock her old clothes and tease her endlessly. Still, Cinderella helps them. She sews their dresses, irons their gowns, chooses their ribbons, brushes their hair. But they push her aside and make her feel small and invisible. At last, the long-awaited night of the royal ball finally arrives. Excitement fills every corner of the house. The stepsisters shriek with joy as they twirl in front of the mirror, admiring their sparkling gowns and matching ribbons. They argue loudly over who looks prettier, who will catch the prince's eye, and who deserves the spotlight. Their chatter fills the halls like an endless storm. In the doorway stands Cinderella, quiet, gentle, and hopeful. She watches them with a bittersweet smile, not because she is jealous, but because deep inside, she wishes she could feel that excitement too. Her heart beats a little faster, wondering if only I had a dress, if only they would let me go. Then the sound of horses. A grand carriage halts outside the house. The stepsisters gasp dramatically. They rush down the stairs, their skirts swishing behind them. The stepmother follows, lifting her dress with exaggerated elegance, as if she herself were royalty. One by one, they climb into the carriage, still fussing over their hair and jewelry. The driver snaps the reins, and with a proud rumble of wheels, the carriage begins to roll away. Cinderella runs to the gate, hoping for one last glimpse. She stands under the blanket of twinkling stars, watching the carriage grow smaller and smaller, until it becomes nothing more than a faint light disappearing into the night. The silence around her feels heavy, like the whole world has moved on without her. Her voice trembles as she lifts her gaze to the sky and whispers softly, I wish I could go too." A single tear slips down her cheek, shining in the moonlight, as hope and heartbreak mix within her heart. Heartbroken and completely defeated, Cinderella slowly wanders into the moonlit garden. The night is quiet, almost too quiet, as if the whole world can feel her sadness. Silver beams of moonlight guide her steps across the soft grass until she reaches a cold, lonely stone bench tucked beneath the trees. She sinks down on it, unable to hold back her tears any longer. Her sobs echo gently through the garden, fragile and full of pain. Each tear that falls glimmers like a tiny crystal in the moonlight. sensing her sorrow. The little birds flutter down from the branches above, and the mice she had always been kind to scurry close to her feet. They gather around her, as if trying to comfort her with their tiny presence. But nothing seems to ease the ache inside her heart. Then, something changes. A soft, warm breeze sweeps through the garden. Not the cold wind of night, but something gentle, magical, alive. The leaves rustle in a way they never have before. Tiny glowing specks begin to rise from the ground, floating around Cinderella like dancing fireflies. The air shimmers, the light thickens, and suddenly, the glowing particles swirl together behind her, forming a bright, swirling sphere of magic. The sphere grows larger, brighter, until it looks like a star being born right there in the garden. Slowly, beautifully, the light stretches, shapes, transforms, and finally, standing in its place is a graceful woman dressed in shimmering robes, a warm smile on her face and a glowing wand held gently in her hand. Cinderella gasps softly, wiping her tears. It is the fairy godmother. The fairy godmother smiles kindly at Cinderella. Cinderella looks up in shock and pours out all her sadness, the cruelty, the loneliness, the dream of going to the ball. The fairy godmother gently lifts her wand. My dear child, tonight you shall go to the ball. With a burst of sparkling magic, a pumpkin glows bright and transforms into a magnificent golden carriage. The mice shimmer and turn into majestic white horses. A rat becomes a proper coachman, and a lizard becomes an elegant footman. Then comes the final transformation. Cinderella's old dress begins to glow, twirling with light, and in a flash, it turns into a breathtaking, shimmering blue gown. For the first time in a long time, hope fills Cinderella's heart. Her magical journey is just about to begin.